Hello, Aimsy here of Aimsy's Antics. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are well today because I have another bake for you, and we are going slightly St. Patrick's Day themed because it is coming up next week, and these are just delightful. So I am going to show you how to make Guinness brownies with a Bailey's topping on the top. So these are really nice chocolatey fudgy brownies without being too clacky on the palate, with a really nice Bailey's infused ganache to create the lovely topping to these. So if this sounds like something you would like to make, then let's get baking. To make the Guinness brownies, you are going to need a can or bottle of Guinness, 175 grams of butter, 226 grams of chocolate. I am using dark and milk chocolate for these brownies, 250 grams of granulated sugar, 3 large eggs, 125 grams of plain flour, teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of salt. Start by pre-lining your chosen brownie tin. Mine is 9 inches by 9 inches, as well as preheating your oven to a gas mark 4 or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it's time to crack open that can of Guinness. Ooh. Place the can of Guinness, the full can or bottle, into a waiting saucepan, bringing it to a boil and then allowing it to simmer to reduce down. And it's going to reduce about 2/3 way down and take about 20 minutes to do so. We'll be using around 114 millilitres of the Guinness. Remove it from the heat once this is done, and then create a double boiler or a bain-marie to place your butter into, as well as your chocolate, and allow these to melt down together until they are really nice and smooth, removing these from the heat once they have fully melted. Then it is time to add in the sugar and give this a whisk together to combine and allow that sugar to sort of dissolve into the butter chocolate gooiness. Then add in the 114 millilitres roughly of Guinness to this, again whisking this in until it has combined. Then it is time to add in the 3 eggs. I am cracking them straight into the mixture here. You don't need to pre-whisk these before, you can add them straight in. But if you're a bit clumsy like I can be sometimes, then maybe cracking the eggs into a separate bowl will be more advisable so you don't get any shell into that lovely brownie. And then mix it all together till they are combined. And then it's time to add in the flour. I am sifting this in case there are any lumps and bumps in the flour, and then just mixing these in with the whisk. However, I would probably advise using a spatula to this and folding them in to sort of help the consistency of the brownies. This didn't impact on mine, but I would advise using a spatula. Then finally you want to add in the vanilla extract as well as the salt, mixing everything again together until they are fully combined. And as you can see, I had a little bit of a disaster with my whisk here, which is prompting me to use the spatula. My whisk actually broke, so yes, use a spatula for this part. I don't think your whisk will break, but it's probably better using that spatula. And once that brownie mixture is complete, pour it into that waiting baking tin ready to go into the oven, and making sure that you scrape the batter all out into that dish because you want lots of that brownie goodness. And my tip is, before placing it into the oven, give it a tap a few times, the tin, just to release some of them air bubbles, and then halfway through cooking remove it from the oven and again bang it down a few times, just gentle taps to help release a little bit more of them air bubbles, because this will help them cook a little bit evenly. And you want to bake it for about 30 minutes in the oven in total, or until it starts to come out clean with the skewer. As you can see, this is what mine looks like. And then allow this to cool, ready to make the topping. To make the Bailey's Ganache topping, you are going to need 150 grams of chocolate. Again, I'm using a mix of milk and dark chocolate here. 80 millilitres of double cream or heavy cream, and 100 millilitres of Bailey's or an Irish cream equivalent. First thing to do is place the double cream into a waiting saucepan and begin gently heating this, and then adding in that Baileys or Irish cream. I'm using the Aldi version here because why not? It tastes just the same to me. Adding that into the cream, and of course you maybe want to pour yourself a little tipple as well whilst you're making this. So make it boil or allow it to boil, and once it has boiled, remove it from the heat and pour it immediately over the waiting chocolate in a large bowl. Then leave this to sit for about 5 minutes because the hot cream and Baileys will begin melting that chocolate. Then using a whisk, and I have a better whisk that isn't broken this time, whisk it all together until the chocolate and cream combination becomes nice and smooth, and this forms your ganache. So once you have got it nice and smooth, and it does take a little bit of whisking just to get it to the right texture and consistency, you then want to place it over your cooled brownies. Now it's really important to make sure the brownies are cool because that will carry on melting this and it won't set. So once you have poured it onto the top of the brownies, smooth it out so it is as even as possible, and then place it in the fridge or somewhere cool and allow it to set before removing it from the tin to cut into pieces. And because it is St. Patrick's Day, why not have a go at making an Irish themed cocktail to go with the brownies. Now, word of warning, this one is quite strong, and if you do want to make it, you are going to need some Baileys, 25ml worth of Baileys or Irish cream, 25ml worth of cacao gin or any type of spirit like gin or vodka, as well as some fresh brewed coffee that has been cooled, some ice, a cocktail shaker, and of course a nice decorative glass. So this is a quick and easy one to make. Start by placing in your ice into your cocktail shaker. Now with mine, my top lid of the cocktail shaker measures 25ml, which makes it really easy to measure out the ingredients. So start by placing 25ml of the cacao gin or your regular gin or vodka, followed by a 25ml shot of the Baileys. Then what you want to do is add in 50ml of the brewed coffee that has been cooled, but obviously if you want it a little bit weaker, you can add in another one to make that 75ml. Then place on the lid of that cocktail shaker really tight, as well as the top measuring bit, and shake, shake, shake until it is fully combined together. Once it is fully shaken, you then want to pour it into your waiting glass, and then your Guinness Brownies with Baileys topping and Irish Cream Espresso Martini is ready to be enjoyed.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, really wanna know.
So there you have how to make Guinness Brownies with Baileys topping. These are just divine, and they did not last 2 minutes in our house. They are so Moorish, and if you cut them into smaller bites, they make it a little bit easier to handle. I think a big slab of this would just be a little bit too much, but the smaller bites are just divine and delicious. And then that added cocktail at the end, it was a bit more of an acquired taste. I think maybe I would use a different spirit to the gin and maybe up the coffee in it. It was just a little bit too strong, but if you like really strong cocktails, then knock yourself out with that one. But yes, these are just divine. So let me know what you think of this recipe in them comments below, and whether you'll be giving these a go for St. Patrick's Day. And don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed, as well as hitting that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed to the channel. channel. There's lots more to come up, lots of creative ventures coming up onto the channel, so be sure to subscribe if that is something you would be interested in. And I just want to say to everybody else who has already subscribed, then thank you so much. I hit a big milestone for me, 1,000 subscribers, which is just amazing. So I want to say thank you for hitting that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to sort of be growing the channel, and more than just growing the channel and getting the numbers of views, it is hopefully inspiring you to become a bit more creative and have a go at making lots of your own things, because that is the main aim of this, to get you inspired to get creative. So if you are subscribing, then don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, because that will alert you each time my videos go live. And finally, why not check out my blog, Aimsy's Antics, which is linked below, because there's always a ton more information over on the blog for you to check out. And with that said, I will see you in next week's video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and week, and I will see you next time. Bye!